And you're a radical, so let's go retro. If digital content is worth money, these videos that I did right here in 2011, in March of 2011, well, and for years after that, should be worth fucking billions, literally billions. Been around the world, found that only stupid people are breeding. Talk about flagpole fucking sitters on chemo, on Balco. So, been a while since I talked G, right? This is Utah Construction. This is the university that is General Electric in the belly of the beast. The Water School of Art, the Water School of Art Business. I taught there. I graduated there. I literally grew up on this campus. Literally. It's very similar to Aaron Swartz's path at MIT. I literally grew up on this campus, and I'm old. I mean, so this is the University of General. This is the university that built the reactors of Fukushima, Japan, inside the belly of the #1 school of business in the country. So, gee, and this is my whole path. When GE 1975 merged with Utah Construction, Littlefield retained the CEO. The board of directors stayed. It was Utah Construction was the parent. Now, the great Ponzi scheme in the history of the stock market is General Electric. Jack Welch, who's dead, and I'm sure in hell, built, remember him on CNBC, was actually owned by General Electric. And that propaganda Ponzi scheme was Joe Kernan, Maria Bartiromo. Remember that fucking, he used to sit there and eat Cheetos in his chair and make fun of fucking everybody that was health food or whatever, and sitting in his chair right there, Cheeto crumbs, fucking, his heart blew up on CNBC, which are criminals. Maria Bartiromo belongs in a prison cell. So does Joe Kernan. So does fucking all those propagandists that created the greatest Ponzi scheme in stock market history called General Electric. So I haven't done videos about the market for well over a year, because how could you? When, look, I says get out of the market. You know, I used to help manage Weber State's endowment. We're the #1 school of business in the United States. Clyde Cooley, the #1 finance professor in the country. We got the MBA in '99. I came home from Wall Street. I remember talking to a trader. I was on the CBOE one day, and he says, you know, this is way back. I was a derivative arb guy, and I would hedge portfolios. By the way, I'm the very first guy in the world, and I did it on this campus, identified that the 9/11 terrorists had bought puts on the airline stock. CIA interviewed me twice here. So, this university just rich with G stock. That's who built it, Utah Construction. I'm like, get the fuck out. This is when it was 64. They won't listen to me. They won't listen to me. Now, this is important because the #1 school of business in the United States, I graduated the second time here in '96, the first time in '78. But I wanted to get a piece of paper from Clyde Cooley, so I messed around with that program. I was a BIS. My degree was already so powerful. And I'm one of these students that goes for years and years, and I really don't even apply for many degrees. I got enough fucking credits here to have fucking 30 degrees. But anyway, so I wanted a piece of paper from Dr. Cooley. I wanted a letter of recommendation, which I got. The last one he ever wrote. Who knew that he would get Mad Cow in '99, 2 weeks before we got the legendary MBA program? And I wanted that first MBA. So I get there. I come home from Wall Street. My name's B. There's no A's. I'm going to have the first one. He's the legendary, most famous finance professor in the world. University of Chicago guy. He was actually a chemical engineer. Average grade a D+. Meaner than fuck. But my letter of recommendation's in the special collections at Stewart fucking infamous library, where I used to visit and talk with Mark Hoffman all the time. So, I'm like, get out, get out, get out. I help manage their endowment. They wouldn't. 64, 54, 44, 34, 24, 14, fucking 5. So this year I'm like, get out of the market, get out of the market. Now stay with this is important historic stuff. So why did I quit doing finance videos over Europe? Because that's when I found out the Fed was going in buying literally billions and billions of dollars of stocks. I'm like, well, all fundamental analysis out the window. How can you do, I'm a fundamentalist. I do not believe in technical analysis. I always consider it to be crackpot fucking science. I still do. Science fiction economics. I coined that term. And Rand Greenspan, I coined that term fucking in the 90s. talked to Volker right here when this was the fucking Eccles Fed. I knew Mariner personally. They ran the Fed from 34 to 87, then Ayn Rand Greenspan fucking took it over, slashed the interest rate and caused hyperinflation and just fucked this all up. You know, he walked around Manhattan tagging on Ayn Rand's fucking skirt, by the way, who was on public assistance, who was a fucking insane psycho case fucking science fiction writer. Well, how do you think we got Scientology? Science fiction writer. Fucking, how do you think we got fucking Mormonism? Science fiction fucking writer. Paperback writer. Fucking freak show. How do you think we got fucking a thing called Jeff fucking Reptile and fucking Bezos? Fucking. So, or Bill Eugenics Gates. So Bill Gates and Warren Buffett roll in here and want to buy our school business. They wanted to develop a port in Salt Lake for Chinese supply oligarchy through the state of Utah, sponsored by John Huntsman and Governor. I'm like, fuck you. Ain't happening while I'm here. Clyde Cooley dies. Kyle Madsen fucking stepped in. He was clueless. He was from the University of Syracuse. And I want people to understand this up there in New York at the University of Syracuse. All those people die of cancer. That whole university is radioactive as hell. And I tried telling Kyle that. And he was a non-smoking good Mormon, but he and I used to go back to Warren Buffett. We used to fly on Bill Gates' fucking Learjet together and go to the Berkshire Half because Warren Buffett bought R.C. Willey's here in Utah. Bill Childs, who became a usury, fake Mormon who built statues all over Council Bluffs, whatever, but oh my God, what he did. So they donated a whole bunch of yellow shares to try to steal our school business. So we'd fly back to the Berkshire Half. I was there. I remember in 2000, I'm there at that one. And so I told Buffett, because we got a meeting, we go to the yellow share thing, and he used to make a big deal out of it because he's trying to steal our school business. Him and Gates. Gates came here, and we all went and played golf that day. And the dean invited me to go. There's a picture on the wall, and there used to be with Gates and Buffett and me playing golf together. I had to go and take 6 showers. There's lots of pictures around with, you know, because Buffett loved me because one word one day. He was in there and he's having a bad year on the .com bubble. Amazon, the only one that didn't go broke. I wonder why. He says, I says, well, you know, Mr. Buffett, with his football team fucking security guards, he's a dick. He's a fraud, by the way. Giving his money away. Who? To Bill and Melinda Gates? The pedophile Epsteiners? So he says, I says, well, you know, because he's a baseball nut. Well, he claims to be. Even Babe Ruth had slumps, I told him. Fucker loved it. Every time he saw me, he'd light up. Come here, take pictures with me. The guy creeped me out from the beginning. And so I say, get out, get out, get out, get out. So when they started buying these stocks this year, the Fed, I'd heard rumor. None of us knew for sure. So Trump's kid goes on TV and he's starting to say, buy the dips, buy the dips. So, come on. That's called insider trading. Now, Trump and his circle, Wilbur, I fucking met Wilbur in the day, clear back in the day when he was involved. You know, that was head of the Treasury under fucking Crazy Boy, Carl Icahn, all these fucking crazies under Trump, which ended up being just as bad as Barry Antoinette Obama, fucking Fukushima, 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 Fukushima. This is the school that built the reactors of Fukushima, Utah Construction. So the Ponzi scheme builds up, but split the stock, split the stock, split the... Do you realize there are fucking 8 billion shares outstanding? Even when this stock crashes hard at the market cap is still 110 billion. You do that. This is the most over fucking price. Should have went to zero. Should have been to zero. You know, how many people got rich off shorting it? Fuck, when I was telling you just a couple years ago. Remember when I had everybody shorting it around 40, then 30, and then Kramer goes on. If it goes under 30, I'm backing up the truck. If it goes under 20, I'm backing up 3 trucks. Remember those derivative trading brothers that were all I saying? Hey, fuck, I worked on the CBO for years. I was deadly at what I did. Deadly. Why ain't you a gazillionaire? Well, let me tell you a story. Play back the tape. I used to stand right here in front of my house in 2011 for ex-students of mine who are in these industries when the market was crashing, went under 10,000. 10 years ago right now. I'm like, double down, buy Tesla, buy Tesla. I had, play back the tape, it's on video in my classroom. Fucking short. I shorted silver at the top. I shorted silver at $48 in the triple leverage. I shorted gold at the exact day of the top in 2011. I says, go all in Tesla. Buy the Apple derivative. Go all in. There's a kid, they used to play my videos at Berkeley at the school business, and he says, every time you say fuck, they're drinking. I says, none of them will graduate. A kid called me one day and he says, I begged my grandpa to watch your videos, and finally I talked him into selling his gold and silver, and we bought a bunch of Tesla. And after I got cancer or whatever, he says, you changed our lives. We're all multi-millionaires now because of you. I says, well, give me a tip. You think he could? Fuck no, these fuckers. I mean, it's sickening. So what happened in October of 2011, I got a stomach ache, as you know. Fukushima's going to give you cancer, going to give you cancer, standing right here. I was given 2 months to live. AML, I remember being on the CBOE, and this, oh, here comes a flock in, nice. God, good turning, Kevin Blanche. So, I remember being on the CBOE, and this guy told me, he says, you know, we all die young. I says, I know. We burn hot. I thought about it every day. We all die young. And I thought about that and thought about that and thought about that. I almost did. You know, by the way, Madoff's kid, and we all knew that Madoff was a fraud. We all knew, because I was a derivative arb. We knew that he was sham-ockery, because we knew there wasn't enough derivatives written. I used to call the CBOE on the phone. I traded so many derivatives in those days, options. They would say, oh, Mr. Blanche, what strike do you want? What equity do you want? The next day they were written 100% of the time. 100% of the time they were written. They knew my voice. You know, we all die young, all as traders. Bernie Madoff's kid, was he in on it? I don't know, but we all knew about Bernie. Fuck, everybody knew. But it was his Jewish community that turned a blind eye, and, you know, and he played that community. That's what they do in the Mormon church too, the shamockery. That's what they've done here at Weber State. The club, I call it. He died of AML leukemia. You do know that, his son. I mean, the other son hung himself. I think it's such a tragic fucking story, because it's the people that benefited off, that were making all that money off, that just turned a blind eye. And I mean, you get sucked into these Ponzi schemes. I think a lot of good people fucking do a lot of, well, I know it, I watched it. So I was given 2 months to live, and so I've been having you short GEG. So GE is going to do an 8-for-1 reverse split. They're trying to undo the fucking nightmare of called Jack Welch, Jeffrey Immelt. Jeffrey Immelt was with Barack Obama when they flew to South America, when Barack Obama gave the speech in the White House garden, never promised you a rose garden, and then Spy Who Loved Me, Putin's fucking octopussy, tore it out in the Rose Garden on St. Paddy's Day 2011, the greatest lie that was ever told in the history of mankind. Barack Obama. Well, the Fukushima nightmare, the plume is coming over us right now, but we, as our experts have told us, Gina McCarthy crashed Rednet, now she's czar, climate czar. Lisa Jackson, David Vitter, I mean, all these criminals. Senator Wyden, who lied to me to my face. Mike Lee, who lied to me in my face. The plume's coming over, so we believe it is not harmful right now. The experts tell us, but I want to keep you, the American public, abreast, and we will keep you abreast. I will let you know what we know. His children and family had already been flown to South America out of the plume. Him and Jeffrey Immelt. Jeffrey Immelt flew 2 planes that day, one in case the other ran out of gas. He should prison his golden parachute. These are criminal derelicts of the highest crimes. By the way, when Trump's kid went on national television, says buy the dips, Trump was saying buy the dips, Wilbur and fucking buy the dips, nobody knew that the Fed was buying literally billions of dollars of stocks. That's called insider fucking trading. It's against the fucking law. So how do you be a fundamental analyst like I am when they're doing that? So everybody piled in, fucking started playing it like a casino, and it went from $5 to $15. It's back down to 11. The guy gets all the credit to set the price at 666. That's a total lie. I mean, YouTube right here. I set the price target at 666 fucking a year before he did. I was begging this university to get out of it. They still sit on it to this day. So the Wada School of Business, the #1 school of business in the United States. I have the last letter of recommendation that Dr. Cooley ever wrote. I grew up on this campus. I was a BIS student at fucking 16 years old. Dr. Winters in biology and zoology. Dr. Cooley in fucking finance. Fucking Dr. Doyle Strong and Jane Catlin in fucking art. I got mentored by the greatest professors in the fucking world. Bar none. Bar none. You know, and Dr. Cooley, Kevin, you keep fighting this nuclear monster. You know this is who this university is. Yeah, I do know that. They will bury you. I said they will try. He died of mad cow, stair cycle. He lived in Bountiful. Fucker was a genius, and I mean a fucking genius. When he died, this school fucking died. So they weaseled Dick in, and the rest of the whores that are over there sold out. So you can look it up. The Chinese professor who runs the show over there from China, it's all Chinese oligarchy. Their scores went from #1. This is not opinion. Our sister school was Wharton. I used to go back and lecture at Wharton. Wharton used to come back here. Yeah, Trump school. We used to beat them every year. Harvard, Weber State, Wharton. But it used to be Weber State, Wharton, Harvard, Weber State, Harvard, via the testing. 96, our test, the highest exit testing in the history of this country on an undergraduate final program. We got the MBA program in 99. They fucked me. They could have paid for my leukemia. Got a stomach ache in October 2011. Thought I had fucking food poisoning. Thought I had an ulcer. Thought I had AML de Nouveau OS with a marker of 44. You know, all us traders, you know we die young. I never forgot him telling me that when I was a young guy. It's fucking true. You talk about burning the candle so fucking hot. They're going to reverse split it. The market cap, this thing is the most overpriced fucking criminal derelict Ponzi scheme in history. Who's responsible? CNBC. Jack Welch is dead. Fucking Kramer, Maria Bartiromo, fucking Joe Kernan, fucking those propagandist fucking whores. Remember when I used to go in Lower Wall Street and CNBC would try to go live? And remember I used to scream right over the top. Remember at Flood Wall Street that day, and I'm just going in and I'm making... I used to protest when their live set, when they go on at Times Square. Remember I used to protest? I made fucking their show many times and I hold up my sign. Fuktonium, plutonium is greater than GE. I made fucking their live set so many fucking times. Go ask them. They try to go live and I'd say, hey, you fucking sellout whores. And I'd just scream over the top and wouldn't let them fucking talk. I remember one, what's her name, one of the famous reporters there, I think it was Becky, that talks to Buffett all the time, come up to me and she says, fuck, you are something, man. You got us so fucked up. And I says, yeah, you get on your fucking knees for fucking Buffett. She says, oh, I know, Kevin, it's just a job. And I'm like, okay, all right, I get that. But come on. Come on. You gotta have some integrity and soul somewhere. So get the fuck out of GE. Get the fuck out of Floor. Remember I told you Floor? Floor is this, started right here, Floor. The SMR's up in Idaho. They've already backed out from 12 days. It's a big, mark my words right here, and I've said this 1,000 times. The FBI will roll in here. It's only a matter of time here in Utah. And there are going to be fucking lots of Utah state legislators in handcuffs, including this Gibson fucking character, who this fucking White, who is the president of this university, who's my next door neighbor county commissioner, who lied about all his degrees, head of the DNR, stole the money. The fucking FBI is going to roll in here on this Floor Construction little SMR in the state of Utah. The fraud that went on here and the looting, the Utah ratepayers have been looted. The FBI is going to get them. It's only a matter of time. G's going to zero. It should have been zero a long time ago. They're going to reverse 8, and they'll still have 1 billion shares outstanding. It's the most overpriced. I mean, they've sold off every unit they could. The greatest Ponzi scheme in stock market history. We used to say as GM goes, America goes, which is so true. They went to China. Look her up. Chinese professor here. So she's she's on the Economic Development Council for the state, which so was I in the day, and I fought them. We did the PPI and CI number when they started lying and cheating. I did it. I'm the guy that did it. I fucking ran that school for fucking so long when we were #1 in the fucking country. Dalai Lama came. She spoke at the Utah State Legislature and in front of her class and told them, forbid them to go see the Dalai Lama. The Dalai Lama. There's only 2 days that you can't get anything done a year. That would be yesterday and tomorrow. Boy, what a fucking statement that is. So, get out, get out. The greatest dead cat fucking bounce in fucking stock market history. Gee. And Trump's kid knew. That's called insider trading. They all knew Wilbur. What's he talking about? Remember Snow Job? Not Eric, not Edward. The Snow Job in the 2000s under Bush. Wilbur. Remember Larry Kudlow? Fucking Mike TV and Veruca Salt. They got together and they had a baby named Donald J. Trump. His television fucking crew fucking called his Fed. They all insider traded, including Carl Icahn. You know, they all did. Get the fuck out. Go into zero. Catch the falling fucking nuclear fucking knife in the back. GG. They're the sponsor of the fucking 2021 games. I want you to think about that. They're sponsoring the 2021 leukemia death games for Takayuki. They built the reactors at Fukushima, Japan. They cheated. This campus, Utah Construction. The first nuclear accident in the history of the world, Chalk River, Canada. Leo Wattis, who was jumping up in Utah Construction, the CEO, jumping up and down in his wheelchair 3 days after he got the contract to build Hoover Dam. He died of leukemia. Both Davises are dead over there. Fucking, they're all dead. The marketing, rodeo queen. They just inducted her in the Pioneer days. She died of COVID this year. I still don't believe it. She was so beautiful, it was incredible. Desiree. I mean, the place has a fucking curse. Everybody over there fucking dies fucking young. You know? It's Chinese oligarchy. They rank dead last now. How do you go from the #1 school business in the country? I mean, we were so elite, so... And I ran that show for years. Fucking Warren Buffett stole it. Just like all the rest of the major universities, they're all Chinese oligarchy. Look it up. That's a fact. You know, and score dead last from #1. Get out of your fucking... This is the University of G. They still hold it. At one time, they had $75 million worth of G, just the school of business alone. Saved by zero. Saved by zero. The legendary Dr. Clyde Cooley. His best lecture he used to ever did. Your time in the barrel, Mr. Blanche. I graduated with Mikado in '96. That's literally the word for Japanese fucking king. That's the heir to the Japanese empire, him and Yoko Ono. We were best friends. We did a piece about the Hiroshima and Nagasaki, and we were very close friends. His sister also was in our program. She graduated me in '96. I had a BA. This campus, in order to have a BA, because I was a BIS student, you know, so I was an art major. You had to learn French. Est-ce que vous parlez français? No. Oui, Doctor. I have a letter of recommendation from my French professor, Dr. Cooley. Or excuse me, Dr. Godfrey. I love that guy. He's still around. I love that fucking dude. He tried to run me over the other day. He saw me at the fucking grocery store. Fucking love that guy. What a gem. I remember we had a French professor that came in, and she adjunct from France, and I got a little too close. I became involved with her. That's when I was a young guy. Hot for teacher. Oh boy. She kept saying, you know, her English was terrible. My French is still bad. She's like, you must fuck us. You must fuck us. The whole class would just laugh. One day I went up to her and I said, do you realize what you're saying? You know, the old times when you'd say fuck, like I'd say, your French is getting pretty good, my dad. You'll never be a master fucking intellectually until you can cuss in at least 3 languages fluently. I says, you know what you're saying? And I laid it out to her, and she's like, whoa. But very typical for a young... I wasn't that young, about 30. She was about my age. To become involved, which I did. Wow, glad I did. Saved by zero. You Freudian fuck, Blanche. Oh, how could I not be Freudian growing up in Ogden, Utah? And I was mentored, literally led around by the hand by Fawn McKay Brody. Literally. Mae Blanche is my auntie who grew up in the same house as I did, the same place. Fawn's the English department at BYU going to be named after her. Bernard DeVoto's town. How could I not be fucking Freudian growing up in Ogden, Utah? Fuck, please. Please. It's the most Freudian fucking... All roads lead to fucking Vienna. I'll be in Vienna fighting with the UN, the IAEA this fall. I'll be in Monterey on the 20. What's that smell? Oh, it's a dead well in Carmel. Get out. Get out. Get out. Kevin Blanche, Dr. Cooley, after graduation, because he was fucking vicious to me. I'll tell you what, I started trading derivatives in the cattle pits here in Ogden. But you ever eat East Eden, the Bad Son? That was me. I'd go in there with a little bit of cash, and they were trading cash, and Chicago had nothing on Ogden, the cow town, and I would change the cattle futures in those fucking pits right there on West 24th Street. I made some huge scores, just like the Bad Son did in East of Eden. I was that kid. Oh boy. He says, Kevin Blanche, I gotta tell you, here's your letter of recommendation. They're like gold, by the way. You can go anywhere in the world with it. You got the most diverse, brilliant fucking mind I've ever fucking seen in my life. You're all over the place. And yeah, and I'm a fucking C+ student. Yeah, that's why you're fucking got what I just said. So, get out. Get out. How many people did I have? I had 30,000 shares of Tesla when it IPO'd. 30,000. I turned $3,000 into $800,000 right on this YouTube site 10 years ago. Right here, and just in 2 years. How come you're not a gazillionaire? I got leukemia. I went in, I'll never tell, told Vincent Hats they were, because I was uninsured, the school could have paid for it, they didn't. I said, Vincent Hanson, who saved my life and knew me since I was a little kid. Thomas Blanche, the famous heart surgeon, is my uncle, his old partner. And Thomas told me when I was young, I said, because I was born with a heart murmur and I could feel it, and I was in my 30s trading, and he says, you're fine. Did you hear me? You're fine. Do not touch that heart till you get older. Never let them open you until you're going to die. And this is one of the most famous heart surgeons in the world. Vincent was his partner. Vincent saved my life. He stepped in and I said, quit treating me like shit, like I'm not an insured piece of shit. Here's my stock portfolio, and I threw it fucking down. He said, well, I don't care about that, Kevin. I've known you since you was a little boy. You're right. I diagnosed myself, by the way. LOS de novo with a marker of 44. Something rotten in Denmark. You're going to I said, no, I'm not. I'm going to the Mayo Clinic. I have money. No, you're not. You're going to LS. There's a guy from Denmark there named Fimbo Peterson. Boy, they put the work into me, experimenting on me. You go in there and fight and prove them wrong. You got me? That place is under construction. It's a fucking shithole. I don't care. You go in there and you fight. You got me? Yes, sir. Respect is earned, not given. I forked over every dime I had, every fucking penny to get in there. My bill was $1.8 million. Then my heart failed. Open heart surgery a couple years ago. I stand right here did a video just bleeding profusely. I went to Ogden Region Medical Center. A guy named Michael Hawkins, a representative, was a doctor with a chiropractor from, and he told me to go see my fucking dentist. Wouldn't even clean me up and kicked me out because I was uninsured. Mike Lee kicked me out Medicaid after I exhausted $1 million worth of Tesla stuff, which would be worth how much today? I remember a cancer psychologist to come into my room. She says, oh my God, look at that Apple portfolio. They knew everything about me. She says, you got to be heartbroken watching your Tesla stock and your Apple derivatives just climb in here. I was in there for off and on until May 31st, 2015 when Mike Lee kicked me out of Medicaid. Then I went and walked the entire coast of California because everybody thought I'd die. I was too sick for a transplant. Still alive. I'm grateful to be alive. Broke me. I went from that wealthy to living like a homeless. I don't know how I didn't lose my house. Literally didn't even have anything to eat. No safety net, no nothing. Sleeping in a fucking sleeping bag, walking the coast of California with the pickers under the overpasses. Talk about a humbling experience. Oh boy. Fucking life is a roller coaster. They built the reactors at Fukushima. I'll be in Monterey for the opening ceremonies to defend my gold medal. Kevin Blanche. Dead tide pool fucking jumping. The 21 leukemia games, which I named him that the day they announced him that. Gold medalist defending his fucking thing in the real Olympics. Low tide at fucking Pacific Grove, California. Get out of this fucking G. Catch the falling nuclear fucking knife in the back, America. Stay in tune.